Hey guys, welcome to PRK Radio. I'm Jimmy, KFI-PRK, and today I want to talk about my logging software and my workflow, how I use it. So I'm going to jump over on the computer and let's get into it. All right, here we are on the computer, and as you can see, I mostly operate on a Mac. I do have a small Windows machine, but my primary machine here is a Mac. It's just a Mac Mini, but it's plenty enough computer for me. My logging software is World Radio League. So let's open World Radio League now, and I will show you guys a little bit about the logging software and kind of my workflow, how I use it. You've got just your splash page or your home page here, and this is all in your browser. So that's what I think one of the things that makes this logging software so good is the fact that it's so portable. Couple of things that I would say that you might want to do before you start logging is go over here to your profile and go to your station tab here and set up your radios or multiple radios if you have them, your antennas or multiple antennas if you have it. And then if you want to throw a station photo in here, you can. I do want to show you really quick. So I've got two of my radios already in here. The FTDX10 is my shack radio. I have an ICOM IC705 as well. And I have a new radio. So if you want to add a radio to your list, you just enter it here and you can say FT891 because that's what it is. You can tell it what brand it is. And it is an FT-891, just like that. And you can enter some more information here if you want to, give it a name or description. You can even put down roughly when you bought it. I don't do that, but I do like to have it listed in here, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So I want to save that. And now I have my FT-891 here. And my antennas, I already have set up in here with the antennas that I own. And you can just keep adding. So where this is useful is when you go to your logs and you go in here, you can actually go up here and say, this is my radio, and you can pick which radio you're using. So that given day, maybe I'm on the 705. So I just change it to that, and everything I log that gets put in the log is what radio I was using, as well as what antenna I'm using. So right now it's the Nelson's antenna in-fed half wave, but I could change that to any of my other antennas that I have in here. So that's how you do that. This is my primary log right here. I've tried many other logging softwares, both on Windows and on Mac, and they either left me wanting more or they were too complex or didn't want to work the way I wanted them to work. So I just kind of kept coming back to World Radio League. I will say when World Radio League first came out, I don't know that it was ready for prime time, so to speak. I don't know that it was ready to be your primary logger, but they have made a ton of updates in a very short period of time. And I think, in my opinion anyway, that they have kind of reached that level where this can be your primary logging software. It is for me, but I'll also show you how I have some secondary logs that I keep as well, but I don't have to get crazy with that. So this is my primary log, but I can come back over here and I can create a new logbook. I can create as many logs as I need, so I can keep things compartmentalized if I want. So let's say I'm going to go out and I'm going to do a POTA activation. I just come over here and I create a new POTA activation. And I don't have to give it a frequency. I just really need to give it a park number. So my park number is 2986. And if you just type that in, it will find it for you. That's the park I normally go to because it's the one closest to my house. I have a few, but this one's kind of the closest. I can leave it right here. I don't have to put a freak in. I don't have to put a mode in. Although when I'm in the park, I'm probably going to be sideband. And then I can say start logging. And it's going to take me into that log. And I have no logs. I also have no radio set, no antenna set. But I can change that just right here. Come up here and I'm going to go do a POTA. I'm going to use the 891. And then for an antenna, I'm going to use probably my X-tenna. Bam, I'm ready to go. And now that information is saved to this particular log for that day. And this has all the information that I need. So once I start logging, I simply, it's capturing all of this information for me. So all I have to do is start logging a contact, and it's in this log, but it's separate from my primary log. And I'll show you how you can merge those here in a minute. But if you want to keep this separate so that you can export this and upload to POTA, this is kind of the best way that I have found to do that. So this is kind of my workflow if I'm going to do a Parks on the Air activation. There are other loggers out there I know that a lot of people use on POTA. I use them as well. I love Polo. But for ease of use and to stay in the same ecosystem, I can use World Radio League on my iPad, on my phone, on my, computer here in the shack, on a laptop, because it's in a browser. I can use it pretty much anywhere I want, or I use the mobile app and I'm still in the same log. I don't have to, grab that log and export it twice out of Polo, once in POTA format and again with the full format that then I didn't upload into this. I simply am logging to my World Radio League account and this has all my logs. So to me, it's just a more streamlined workflow. So as I log here, and I'm just going to throw a couple of logs in here. So say I log the Cake Man, Whiskey 0, Kilo Echo Germany, and that is Kevin. And I just pick a frequency and I'll just say 14,225. That's 20 meters. Bam, bam, bam. He's not in a park, but I log him because he was hunting, and I hit log contact. There he is, right? So you're saying, okay, well, great. I've got him here, but I've got 2 logs now. What am I doing? Well, you're going to be able to merge this POTA activation log with your primary log anytime you want. Now, a lot of people also log in QRZ, Logbook of the World, so on and so forth. Well, they've thought of that. If you come over here, and let me expand this so it's easier to read. If you look at integrations, you can integrate with QRZ. You can integrate with Logbook of the World. There's even cat control, right? It works with WSJTX. It will integrate with N1MM. It will integrate with N3FJP. Like I said, this is all new. This is new stuff here. This wasn't out of the box. So this has been added over the last, I'd say, year, maybe 18 months. So they've really done a lot of work on this project, and they're continuing to work on it. And I think that's what makes it great. So let me show you this cat control integration, because this is key for how you get QRZ and Logbook of the World to work. This cat control integration right here, it doesn't look like much, but it's everything you need and nothing you don't, in my opinion. So come over here to the gear, get in here to the settings. So this is for your radio control. So if I'm going to just be doing sideband here in the shack, I can start a radio connection, and then World Radio League is talking to my radio. When I type in a frequency in World Radio League, it will change my radio to it. If I click on a spot on the spotting page, which I can show you in a second, it will switch my radio to that frequency. It's fantastic. I love it. But the other thing that you can do is you have your WSJTX, N1MM, or N3FJP integration down here. And all you're doing is setting up your UDP port, and then you're going to say start listening. And it'll start listening for everything that you log in WSJTX, then will get pulled right into World Radio League, right? And because you've set up your QRZ integration, I connected my 2 accounts together. Then when I come over here and I go to QRZ, I'm logged in. Let me go to my logbook. Bam, there's Kevin right there. Today's date, it already pulled it in. So if I come back over here to my log, and I'm working POTA, and my next call is, I don't know, let's see, K8MRD. He's a kind of a new ham. You may know him, you may not. I don't know. I heard he has a YouTube channel. I've never seen it. Same frequency right there. And we'll just log him. Boom, he's in the log right there. And I come over here to QRZ. Well, wait, where is he? Just refresh. And there he is. Mr. Dahlhofer is in the log, right? So it brought it in automatically. I didn't have to do anything. It's just in there. Whether I log in this particular log or I come over here and I log in my primary log, it automatically pushes that contact into my QRZ, right? As well, because if you set up integration with Logbook of the World, it'll also push it over there. Now, so I think this is great. This integration makes it super easy. As I log in World Radio League, it just pushes it right into QRZ for me. And that way, if you're into all the awards, right? If you're collecting all your awards and everything, then you can, you can have your logs over here as well as in your logging software. So coming back over here to my logs, now that I'm done, all I have to do is export this into an ADIF, and then I can upload it to POTA, right? And once I've done that, and I've got it uploaded to POTA, then you're like, okay, well, wait a minute. These logs in here, these two contacts are not, if I can click on back, they're not in my primary log. They're not there. Well, that's easy as well. So you just come over here. Again, if I could click back, you just come over here to this log, drop this menu down and merge it. So click merge, pick your other log you want to merge it to, and merge it. And it's done. Or is it? There it goes. Now it's done. So now you see 0 QSOs in that log, and this log went up by 2. So if I come over here to my primary log, after I've done my POTA activation, I merge it. Now they're in my primary log. Everything is synced up. 3871. Over here. 3871, right? So everything's in sync. I don't really have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops. I'm not exporting and importing and yada, yada, yada. To me, this just makes it super, super streamlined. And I'm a new ham, right? I don't want to get into, exporting and importing 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get my logs everywhere I want them to be. So I think this works well for me. It may work well for you. I don't know. But it does work well for me. So I'm here. It's in my primary log now. You can see, you come back over here to all my list of logs, and that log is empty now. If I go into it, I have no contacts because I merged them. But I've already exported this and uploaded it to POTA, so I'm good. So I can come back over here, and I can delete this log because I don't need it anymore. And now I just have my primary. So you're in your primary. You can do everything you want to do in here. You can show a map of all your contacts. So let me zoom that in a little bit, maybe. So I have a few showing here. You can share this map with people. You can customize the map. So you can tell it, you can show a gray line. You can do a whole bunch of stuff here in your styling and whatnot and how you do it. So play around with that. I'm not going to get into those details, but you can do that with the map. The spotting page that I talked about earlier, this is perfect if you're out doing a POTA and you find a station that you want to work. You can go in here and set your filters. So I set my filters for 20 meters and sideband. So I'm not going to see any CW or FT8 or anything. I'm only going to see sideband. So if I want to work this K4NJ, I just click him and there he is. He's in there, right? I haven't logged him yet, but he's ready to go. So I'm listening to him. I have all of his information. You can click on their park and it's going to show you their park number. This is fantastic. This makes it super, super fast. As if you just want to be a hunter, if you're at home and you want to hunt, this is how you do it right here. This is a great way to do it. And you just click around, and with your cat control, when you double click on one of these stations to put it up here, it's automatically going to put your radio on that frequency. It's fantastic. So if I don't hear him, and it refreshes also, you can see that. But if I don't hear him, then I just move on down. I move on down. So let me jump down here to, what is this? Kilo Charlie 0 Quebec November Alpha. And I'll just double click on him. It changes everything and changes the frequency. And with cat control activated and connected, it's going to change the frequency on your radio as well. So it works great. So I think, again, for me anyway, this workflow works great. It allows me to log in one place, and then once you make those connections with your other logs, it just dumps them over there for you, and you're good to go. So I happen to really like that. You can also look at your stats, and it's going to show you all your stats as you're going. 78 DX entities. I mean, you can really nerd out on the stats if that's what you're into. You can definitely nerd out on that. I really, really enjoy this log. I think it works well, and it serves all my needs. Again, I know that there's some people out there that are using, much more. I don't even know that I'll call them much more robust logging softwares, like, Ham Radio Deluxe, or a lot of the others out there. But I find that this meets all my needs, and it's so portable. I have it anywhere. If I want to check my logs from my phone, I can do that. Right? It's just fantastic. I really like that feature. So, and I've used those other logs. I've used Ham Radio Deluxe. I found it to be too big, trying to do too many things, and I found it to be too clunky, and I didn't like it. And unfortunately, I paid for it to find that out. So that's on me. I've used rumlog-ng, and it works, but I can't get cat control to work for some reason. So I kind of abandoned rumlog. I like it. It's clean, and it runs on a Mac, and it's free, but I can't get cat control to work. So that kind of kills it for me, because I really want my logging software to be able to talk to my radio. So this is my solution for logging and my workflow. It's not the only way to do it. It's the way I do it. Maybe this works for you. Maybe you can take what I'm doing and enhance it some way, or change your workflow, and it'll work better for you. But this way works for me. Let me clean these logs up, because I didn't actually work these guys today. So you just go in here and you delete. And you go in here and you delete. Now, when you delete from here, what I wish it would do, and it doesn't do, is it doesn't delete from QRZ. So if I refresh, they're still there. So I have to go over here and highlight them. And say action and delete. And now they're gone. So now I'm back to 3869 there and 3869 there. So to be able to keep my logs in sync in real time, to me is a huge feature. It really makes this logging software the best for me. Again, your mileage may vary. You may not like it. I happen to like this. I will, full transparency, when this first came out, like I said earlier, I don't know that it was ready to be your primary logging software. I think now, fast forward, a couple of years now that it's been out, it's ready and it works great. And they're still working on it. And they will also, you can send feedback. You can report a bug. I mean, it's fantastic. When you sign up, there are paid versions. There is a free version. I chose to be a paid member. I'm a premium member. I'm also a founding member. That was just, when I find a product that I like, I don't mind paying for it. I think it's worth it. And these guys are doing a lot of great work, and I want to support them. So this is me supporting them. It doesn't get me anything. The paid memberships, you get a few more features, but you can absolutely use a free version of this, and I don't believe it would ever hinder you in any way. So I chose to be a paid member, but you don't have to. But again, you can send feedback. You can report a bug. You can find members near you. This is a great tool. You can look and see where, if there are any other members of World Radio League that live near you. It's kind of cool. Again, with the integrations, it's pretty robust. With all the contesting, you can just pick a contest and join it and be ready to go. The spotting page is fantastic. To be able to jump out there and check the spotting page for POTA on whatever band you want to look for, and whatever mode you want to look for. It's fantastic. The various activities that you can do with POTA and Worldwide Flora and Fauna and IOTA and SOTA, Islands on the Air and Summits on the Air. So it's feature packed. It's got a lot of features in it. And I think that's great. And they're constantly improving it. The analytics page, like I said, you can really nerd out on the analytics. It's fantastic. You can just look at the US and see everywhere that you've worked. And this will show you where you're sitting with your all 50 states. There's just a ton of features in this thing. And I really, really enjoy this logging software. So that's why I've kind of come back to it. And as you notice, it's in dark mode, but you can easily switch that to light mode if you prefer that. I find that light mode is sometimes better outside in direct sunlight, just to make it easier to read, but totally your preference. In the shack, I prefer it in dark mode.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's World Radio League and a little bit of how I use it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button down below. Leave me a comment also, and think about subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Anyways, until next time, love you guys to death. Take care of each other. 7-3. Bye.